What's up, people? I am allegedly live right now, and I thought it'd be fun today to go off in the shop, talk about what's going on now, what's going on next year. We got the King Zero here. Been rearranging the whole shop, and also it's always a good time to talk to you all. Maybe ask some questions, answer some questions, talk together. I got a little apology to make, and just kind of go on like that. So first of all, what's up, people? Please tell me this is working. We're here right now. Anyway, I appreciate you guys all getting on here. Obviously, rearrange the shop. Next year is going to be amazing. It's going to be some racing, more than just Genius Garage, myself doing some racing. I was looking at like Formula cars. We're going to talk about the builds upcoming, kind of see what you guys would like to see on the builds and what I'm thinking of doing when the Zero is finished here. And then, of course, getting on to more things that we're going to dive into the Zero, because I think a lot of you guys have questions. Want to talk about that. Maybe talk about your own cars, your own questions, and everything going on. Sounds like you guys can hear me. And somebody wonders why NASA faked the moon landing. And other fun things people are saying right there. So also, if you have something you specifically want to ask, we do have the opportunity for a super chat, a little monetary aspect there, but I will definitely see that. And if I don't see it, everyone will yell at me. So let's go into the first thing. I want to apologize actually for, what day is this? Friday? Wednesday's video on the King Zero. I got too ranty even for myself. Just going on about how people like to nitpick things on welds and design ideas and stuff. It just, I don't know why, but it really stuck with me hardcore that day. And I went on and on about it. So sorry about that, guys. You got to stay positive. You got to stay inspirational. Troll's going to troll. Haters going to hate. But I just want to look too far. And the reason being is there's a story, which I'm not going to go into now. I may choose to tell it at another time, long time ago. And by the way, people are saying hello. What's up, guys? Anyway, somebody thought the vents were kind of funny, rant event and all. And I appreciate that. But anyway, had a story a long time ago. A guy that I considered a mentor gave me a shot a long time ago being a mechanic. I'm not going to go into all of it right now, but he got with an unsavory female character, and both his and her personality defects magnified together like fire and gasoline, and they were the biggest train wreck you've ever seen. And just totally stabbed me in the back, honestly. And I was working on cars back then. And I remember one of the things they were dogging on me for welds that a guy that worked for me did that were fine, but it just stuck with me. It drove me nuts. And so it's just things like that annoy me. Anyway, sorry I got real ranty on Wednesday, you guys. Somebody writes, don't worry, keep those juicy rants coming. Some of them are fun, but I had to say that. Even for me, I thought I was kind of off there. I needed to be a little more positive. But as you can see, the shop is looking a lot cleaner right now. The King Zero has been moved a 90-degree angle, so I have a little more room here. We've got a nice open area from the Auburn all the way over there with nothing in the way. So really cleaning that up. I took down the big, shall we say, easel, where I had the life-size blueprints and kind of drawings to help me figure out and coach build the King Zero build, which was right here, which is kind of a shame. It looked really cool. I really like the way that looked. And the scrolls you see over there on the C4 Corvette, that's actually my car, those were the drawings. So unfortunately, they'd taken down. But I was thinking maybe if you guys like, I could take some of those drawings that I did to make the King Zero and make them smaller and get them like on a t-shirt to sell. Let me know if you guys think you might enjoy that. It was just a thought I had. So somebody's right. What are you writing here? You should use tungsten disulfide in your lubes and greases to reduce friction. I didn't know that was a thing. Okay. Maybe you could tell us more about that. Somebody writes, I apologize for asking you last time not to talk too much. Was not aware that it was a Q&A. Sorry from Angry. Sweet. Fair enough. I appreciate it. When somebody says that about stop talking so much, I'm like, the show is named Casey Putsch. I mean, I can dance, but that's only going to work so long, guys. Okay, let's go back into it. So I'm rearranging the shop. There's some things about that coming up for next year. Obviously, Genius Garage has got their cars. What I'm trying to do is figure out how to get all of Genius Garage's cars and projects and stuff in the front. So Genius Garage just has its own dedicated area. The problem is there is an airplane up in there, and I'll just run with it and show you guys. The Shop with Cam, I'm hoping I'll drop my computer. That would really suck. The Shop with Cam biplane that I built with the students 2 years ago is right here. and it takes up a lot of space, and I don't want to take it apart or put it in an airport and whatnot. It just does. It's a giant, beautiful, glorious paperweight. So what we're thinking we're going to have to do is actually make some blocks that the wheels and everything can go up on. And in doing so, we'll actually be able to drive certain cars under the main wings. So we'll be able to fit that stuff up in there. I would love it if the Genius Garage yellow Corvette and the Genius Garage Morgan could go up there. So it's separate. It's nice. And then this area back here can be for Casey Putsch, because I'm a guy that does YouTube. And then I happen to lead the nonprofit Genius Garage. So I want that to be nicely separate. But the difficulty with this building is it's kind of hard to physically separate all that. So I think we're going to try that. And then the other thing is regarding racing next year, it looks like there's a strong possibility I'll be driving Formula cars that are fast a lot. And they may be coming here. And if that's the case, then I really need to make a dedicated, really beautiful, really clean, perfect place to maintain high-end Formula cars. So that's it. Okay, you guys, donate the camel to a local EAA chapter. No, because the local EAA chapter is a bunch of older guys that sit around and do nothing and would rather drink beer and eat and do jack squat for young people. So it's better off staying here and taking up space than going to a place where it'll do nothing for young people. No offense, but that's what I found from all the EAA-related chapters that I visited. Sorry. Okay. Greetings from Poland. Bella Casey. Great work with the workshop. Love the rants, man. You crack me up. But you are also so wise. That's very nice. The first video I saw on the channel was the rant about the Batmobile. Which one? I don't remember ranting about the Batmobile. I probably did, though. All right. Let's see. What's this? This guy's getting on. This guy's all about the grease. Feral Man, why are we talking about grease right now? Like, I mean, I got grease. It's slippery and works. Aaron, what are you doing? Aaron's over there creeping. Aaron's always here late on Friday. What are you doing, dude? You got your parts for the Lycan you're working on? Do you want to show and tell them what you're making? It's show and tell time, boys and girls. Go Buckeyes. All right, you guys. So remember, you can shoot questions at me through here. I'm just going to keep going and hope you enjoyed it. First one they watched was the Viper shifting tips. Cool. I got some fun driving ones going on. Okay, let's have Aaron have show and tell. So he's working on the Lycan over there. Now, what do you got going here? Get in the screen there, buddy. Okay, what do you got there?
If you look at photos of the Lycan from the back, you'll see that there are like little steps, almost like louvers.
Yeah, like you got the like say our car is red, so you got the red part, but in the center, the engine cover area is black, and then it's got like the fins in there.
Yeah, it's fins. So that's basically what these are. This little square that I drew out cuts in, it slides into the part.
Yeah.
And these triangular fins at the end just fold up, and they create this nice, aesthetically pleasing.
And as an example, so you got two shapes here because there's two fins effectively. This one will be the bottom one, and this is Aaron's mock-up. So it'll get bent up like this, and this will be the one fin. And then hold this above it in the way it goes. Can you do that? Oh boy. We're bad at stuff. We're bad at stuff live. I'm losing subscribers right now. Here, that almost went badly. You look like Moses with aluminum commandments. Okay, so there you go. Yeah, check that out. Okay, don't fold it so much. Let it down a little bit. So kind of like that, guys. So that's what we're making. We're going to make those pieces out of aluminum to start with. So Aaron's going to cut out this part, and then we'll put them in the sheet metal brake and bend them. But you're going home for today? Okay, cool. All right, put that stuff back where it'll be safe. All right, you guys, anyway, that's what's going on. Okay, so we got something here from Christian Wilson. He writes, love the channel and love what you do for young people. I just started my degree in design and saw your King Zero sketch. Recommended Copic pens. Oh, do I recommend them? Yeah, I really like them. I've got Prismacolors and older ones I've had. They're less expensive, but the thing that's nice about the Copic, I mean, the ink quality is great. Comes out really nice. They seem to last well. But the thing I especially like about the Copic pens in design, they have a chisel tip that's very versatile and usable, but the other end is pointed, but it acts more like a brush. So Prismacolor has a tiny point and the chisel, and they're rock hard, but Copic allows you to be more precise with its chisel tip. But with the little one, if you're good with a brush or, you know, like calligraphy, you can really get some nice, smooth and flowing line changes. So that's what I'm in for it there. Somebody writes, what are your plans for after the King Zero is done? build something else and drive the King Zero and take its cars and coffee and show up losers with their paddle-shifted supercars that can't drive. Ha! Yeah, that's my plans. And do cool stuff with Avalon King, which I'm going to bring up right now, you guys. So Avalon King, the ceramic coating, I know you guys have seen, obviously they sponsor the channel. You've seen on VinWiki and stuff like that too. One, the product does in fact work and work really freaking well. I had it on my red 944. I've got it on the Viper. I got to put it on the Aston. And I got the white 944 now, which looks really sad. It's outside. And oh, it's bad news, guys. So I'm going to bring the white 944 in here and coat it. I just wanted to say that because it actually works. And I do not use waxes anymore. Like I use the polishes and get it to that point. But it's an awesome product. So I hope you guys will try it out. And with regard to Avalon King, the fact that they're supporting this channel and crazy builds like the King Zero is spectacular because who does that? I mean, you know, corporate land, they don't do anything cool, let alone supporting a car community and creativity like this. So I thought I'd just bring it up because I think that's really cool of a company to do that. Obviously, I like being the guy that gets to do that. But I think for all of us being a car community, if you like the inspiration going on with the King Zero and the stuff I do with Genius Garage and all, they help facilitate and make that possible. So at the very least, even if you're curious about ceramic coating, buy some Avalon King. I'm telling you, it works. It's fun to use anyway. So please do. And this person, Scott McLean, Armor Shield totally works. Yes, it totally works. King Zero, yes, yes. Am I pronouncing that right? Yes. So you out?
Yep.
Do you wanna like dance out for everybody?
I'm good.
No dancing today? All right. See it. Oh man, Aaron's talking smack. Okay, so funny thing somebody just mentioned, but here's a question I'm gonna read for the kicks real quick. A couple of them maybe. What do we got here? Hey Casey, when I drive a manual while shifting gears, I couldn't do it without little jerks in the car, probably because I didn't rev match earlier. Will double clutching solve the problem easily? No! Don't double clutch until you're smooth and good. Otherwise, things will just get 10 times worse. Seriously. Double clutching will only really help in that regard if your synchros are slow or you're trying to be nice. That's the only purpose for it, really. Okay, so funny thing, when I was doing silly accents and British accents, I was talking to a guy in the IndyCar racing world and open wheel racing world in America, and he was complaining that, like, what is it with people with a British accent? The next thing you know, they hire somebody with a British accent on the team that they pay too much because they're supposed to be better at formula cars, and they suck, and it drives them nuts. I thought that was hilarious. So I think if I'm going to be driving formula cars next year, I needed to be able to switch in between a British accent and then back to an American one so that I can like talk normal, get the job done. Or when I want to negotiate for more money for everybody to like me in that regard, I can make my salary go up, up, and up. Won't it be lovely? But anyway, this person writes, just well done for what you are doing, why you're doing it, and how you're doing it. Genius Garage needs to go worldwide. I really appreciate that, man. And I agree. I wouldn't have put this much effort in over this long if I didn't think the world needed it. And it didn't actually solve a problem for young people that I really needed that problem solved for when I was young. Because Genius Garage has been brutal to do. Not complaining, I'm just saying it. Really brutal. But anyway, life's going pretty well for me now. But the years in building Genius Garage were not easy. It was a major sacrifices, both of me and my wife. So anyway, I appreciate you saying that. Thank you very much. This person writes, should I trade a 2019 GT350 for a McLaren 12C? Somebody else writes, no. Oh, that's funny. Why did the Google moderator team delete this message? Maybe he wrote nasty things. Anyway, dude, a Mustang or a McLaren, engines in the front or engines in the back. One's a pony car, one's a supercar. Hello, the McLaren has doors that go like this. Ugh. McLaren, yes. I mean, the new Mustangs are cool, but really, McLaren? Yeah, I mean, it's even paddle shifting, and I do that. So that's what I would do, definitely. I mean, because you're just gonna have a Mustang, hooray, or you can have a mid-engine McLaren. Come on. So anyway, that's my thought. Genius Garage Lemons team. I kind of like that somebody said this. I've thought about it. Oh God, this is gonna be funny. Casey's British accent sounds like the young boys that Daddy pays for their rowing club. Yeah, it does. It's kind of funny that way, right? That's what I was going for. So anyway, Genius Garage Lemons team thought about doing that, but here's the problem, and don't hate me. But this is really good information for anybody out there. Remember that your time is worth the same whether you're working on a $500 car or a $500,000 car. Your time is worth the same whether you're working on an autocross car or a Formula One car. So I like to try to focus my time, or Gina's Garage students' times, on things that are the biggest deal we can. There's a lot of cool aspects about Lemons racing, ingenuity and everything with it, but it's sort of hard to compete when there's cool things to build that are like, you know, IMSA cars or Formula cars or stuff. That's all. But I certainly wouldn't, you know, shy away from being part of Lemons in the future. It's just only has so much time to go around, and so students. Okay, this person writes, this is a good one. Are you still going to be doing the 3D models for the King Zero? I recently got a 3D printer, and I'd love to have a Hot Wheels size version for my desk. Yeah, we'll be getting that out. I'm not sure how soon for the design to paint contest. As you can tell, the car's not ready to paint yet. I actually ordered a sheet metal shear, like a big one, so Gina's Garage can use it, but also, frankly, I need it to be chopping out body panels real quick and putting them on there. It'll save a lot of time. So I'm waiting for that to come on Monday, and I'll be getting going on there. But yes, we will do the Zero models, the King Zero models, you know, with my changes in design, and then as well as pictures. So people, if all you've got is colored pencils and pens, you can do that and take pictures up for the design, the paint design contest, or the 3D model rendering, which I imagine you can 3D print. There's also a guy that's done a really cool render that we should be able to plug the King Zero into video games and simulators. Yes. And there's something else that I'm forgetting, but that's coming. So be patient, guys. I can only do so much at once. I swear to God, this thing's me. I'm serious, you guys. I'm not going to do a build like this again for a long time. Holy crap, is this a lot of work? It's kind of a little much anyway. No crowd killing in a McLaren. Yeah, ditch the Mustang, get a McLaren. It doesn't eat people. Okay. All right. Somebody says, did you hear Pierre Gasly between his French accent and perfect Oxford English in a matter of 20 seconds? Okay. Maybe. All right. What is this? Oh, hiya, Casey Poo. What are your thoughts on performance cars littered with driving assists? I didn't want my driving assisted. I want it to smack me in the face if I do it wrong, because I want the satisfaction of a job well done. Driving assists are kind of nice if it's raining and you want to like turn your brain off, but I generally don't like turning my brain off. And cars you can turn your brain off that much are boring, and I don't want them. But I'm not a nouveau riche wanker that can't drive. And, you know, companies want to be able to sell it to people. And there's not that many Caseys. And there's more nouveau riche wankers that can't drive. So they make more money with driving assists. I just don't like them. Okay. You guys are going on here. And remember, guys, if you got something really good, super chat me. I'm doing my best, but I can only see so much. And then for the people that are going to want to watch this live video, you guys, maybe. I don't want them to get super bored. Anyway, okay, so what else we got going on? You guys, next year. So I can't say much yet because it's not time to announce this. But it does look like I'm going to be racing open wheel cars a lot. Not IndyCar yet, so don't get too excited. But serious Formula cars and being more serious about it and everything I've got going on. So that is a little hint as to why I'm not going to do a car that requires that much time next year. Like, I'm going to be getting this done and doing a lot of stuff with it and having fun. But the builds I'll be doing here will be a little less time-consuming things, kind of fix-it projects and stuff that's sort of more together, because I'm going to have to put a lot of time towards driving. Yes. And if you guys remember my video from 1 week ago, you can probably guess what I'm trying to do. So that's something really exciting, but I can't tell you what it is going to be just yet. Now, builds next year. What am I thinking of doing? Okay, a couple of things. One, the first one I'm thinking of doing is, you guys might like this. So how many of you guys out there know what a Chevron B16 is? It's from like 1970. It looks like a tinier Lola T70. Coupe, you know, kind of like a Porsche 917, that sort of car. It looks like a little Lola T70 Mark 3B or a Porsche 917, right? And they're worth a crap load of money. I don't even know, $500,000 plus, something stupid like that. And even the continuation cars are like $250,000. And that is just too much money. But I like cars like that because I like the rough and tumble, beautiful days of racing lore. However, would you believe that allegedly next week I'm going to get my hands on a Chevron B16 body, which means I can just build the rest. But I don't have time. No time. However, I found something out. Would you guys also believe that a Radical, the motorcycle-powered 1,000cc or 1,500cc mid-engine open cockpit little endurance cars, they have like this exact same wheelbase and track as a Chevron B16 from back in the day. So I'm already telling you guys what I'm thinking of doing. I'm going to rebody a Radical as a Chevron. It's going to be sweet. Get rid of the aerodynamics. That makes it too easy. So I'm kind of into that. I'm curious to see if you guys will like it or anybody else will. But if you don't, I at least will. Let's see. Somebody here has an interesting one. Paul writes, thought about having the students drive the racing projects more at lower risk sport. For example, autocross versus 100% mid-Ohio drives with yourself. That is a great point. And yeah, I'm working on that next year, which we'll roll into it with karts and something else. But relating to your point in Genius Garage, I have to make this point. That IMSA Corvette and that Champ car up there, Genius Garage, those are high-level cars. Even the students I've had that have the most autocross or track day experience would have a hard time getting them out of the pits. They're not licensed for it at all. And it would be the biggest liability, like insurance nightmare in the world, as well as the team dynamic thing, because everybody would want to drive it and they would just break it and the car would get destroyed and be slow, because you need somebody that can drive those things within a couple of tenths of a second lap fast the whole time and not screw it up. You can't do it with the students in those kind of cars in Genius Garage and engineering program. However, I do recognize the value for students to get some seat time so they can learn how to do data acquisition and stuff, like if they're doing research and development with manufacturers. And plus, it's fun. But I have to say something. Driving that, like, when it really matters, is rewarding, but it's not fun. Like, we should never put a student in that kind of car at all. What's the other reason for it? Oh, the reason for doing a high-level car like this is because it's hard engineering-wise. You need to have a team to do it. That's why the engineering thing works out really well rather than doing things that are easy, because it's a hell of a lot harder to support that than a Miata, if that makes sense. But so next year with Genius Garage, what I'm thinking of doing is we'll have the Corvette so we can do like the pro race team thing, the value of that in the engineering. But what I was thinking about doing is having a couple of teams. They break out into two teams at Genius Garage next year, and they have karts, like racing go-karts, and basically make it unlimited and say, here's the baseline for lap times, and I'll have my own that's similar, and let them go full active aerodynamics and whatever they want with the kart to try to make it. I think that'd be really cool to give them an opportunity with no rules, and then they have to drive it, and then the two teams have to compete against each other at a track. So I think that'd be a lot of fun. I hope that answers it. But yeah. Somebody says, upset you didn't buy the monster truck. Yet. The keyword is yet. Monster truck. Yes. How did I get dirty already, by the way? Okay. Got one here from Fred McIntyre. He writes, Casey, big fan. I love the movie Goodfellas. Favorite part is Marty's commercial. What's your thought? I never saw it. I'm sorry. Is that the one where, like, that's the movie with the meme where everybody's like, ah! You know, it's like the biggest douchiest laugh in the world. You know, I'm thinking that's the one. I'm sorry, man. I never saw it. Like, I've seen clips. That's the one, right? Okay. So let's see here. Somebody said something about a B16. Four-wheel front. Okay. How do you feel about the 90s Honda Del Sol front-wheel drive Miata? Crap. Even though some came with the B16 is faster than a Miata. Oh, I was thinking you were talking about the Chevron. What's up with the Chevron, man? I'm not really into those. I don't like front-wheel drive that much, man. I'm sorry. Okay, unlimited formula for sure. Yeah, don't you think that'd be cool? Like if the kids basically got the same rules as the Can-Am days, but with racing go-karts and their own track and they could drive them? I think that'd be a really cool year for Genius Garage. Plus they get to drive, and we'd still get to do like a pro race team type thing, which is in some ways more important to industry that you can work on a team like that. That's why it works out really well. Yeah, these guys are really into the go-kart thing. Okay, cool. Somebody says your go-kart idea is very similar to British Formula Student Series. The students build open-wheel cars and compete at Silverstone. Yeah, they do Formula Sae in the United States. There's things I like about Formula Sae. There's things I don't like about Formula Sae. So just something I was thinking about giving a try for next year. Somebody writes, hello from Sweden. What do you know about Sweden? Not as much as I'd like to. I'd like to visit sometime. It's in the north. I like your sweaters. Your climate is considerable. I think you're better about healthcare and taking care of each other. You are lightly complected. Otherwise, I'm open to learn. Casey, what are we going to do if the... Oh, goodness gracious. Let's not answer that political thing. And let's not worry. Let's cross that bridge when it comes. And can't go that way right now, man. I want to keep my channel going. Sorry. All right, you guys. Somebody writes, yeah, I'm not a fan of SAE. None of them have any imagination. God, I feel like I can't answer that question either for the same reason. It's political, right? The guy says something political, which I have an opinion on. And then the guy with Formula SAE says that, which I have an opinion on. There's issues with Formula SAE. The biggest issue is not all schools are created the same. They don't have the same leadership. And the same issues happen with lots of the teams. It ends up being all the students fighting all the time. And there's 3 that do all the work. And it just doesn't, it's not run as well as a proper race team as it should. And there's a lot of aspects about how the competition is set up that is great for like engineering students, but is not like the real world. And I really like the real world. So I just wanted to do something a little different that I think prepares these students well. And I think it's a great complement for, you know, SAE programs that already exist at colleges anyway. I just like to get them out in the real world more. Okay, this person, Joshua, writes, how many people are physically involved with Genius Garage? Is there a network for past students to help mentor / facilitate new students as they grow? Excuse me. Yeah, there is a network. It is called Social Media and My Phone. No, we do. Past students will come in, and with other students that are in it looking to get jobs or coming out, I get to grow to learn to know what they're good at, where they want to go. So simply, it's a giant network of students and businesses and places and CEOs and everything. So for instance, about a month ago, a whole group of students went up to visit Stone Ridge, which is a global company in manufacturing. They replace the mirrors of semi-trucks with cameras, like the only company that can legally do that. And one particular student, I couldn't go. So I had one student from the lead it, who's very good, and I just straight up emailed the CEO, and I'm like, you need to hire this guy. So that's what we do. We do things like that, and I like kicking down doors for students and help putting the students where they need to get. So it's a pretty neat thing like that. Okay, this person is Lotus Esprit de Corps. He writes, hey, Casey, I finally got my Lotus back from the car wizard of Hubie's garage. The car speaks to me and mostly tells me to go out and do bad things to it. I just don't learn. The builds are awesome. Whoa. Are you telling me basically right now that Hubie's wizard mechanic is this cursed, like, demonic mechanic thing that like embodies cars with terrible conscience? Is that what that means? Or did he mean it fixed it and it works for a while? You want to drive too fast? That's a you problem either way. But I want to know, tell me, is Hubie's mechanic like cursing these cars to do something? Or do you just make bad decisions like Hubie? Or is it Hubie that's cursed you now to make bad decisions? I want to know. Now, this person here, what's up, Mike? Mike Morrison from Canada. I think we know who he is. He goes, know where I can find a good TA car? What does TA stands for? Trans Am or the fun TNA? I want to know. I'm not going to answer the question. I thought you could build one, Mike. Anyway, we're on here. Somebody nice here writes, hi, sir, I like your videos. I'm a mechanic and I'm currently studying as an engineer. I find what you do very, very exemplary. Keep it up. Greetings from Zurich. Oh, Zurich. Nice. I do like it there. Okay, anyway, moving on. Beautiful lake, beautiful views, lovely people. Bahnhofstrasse is fun to walk around. Good time. Okay, time attack? Doesn't necessarily mean time attack, Peter Palmer. I think TA, he meant Trans Am. Similar to like what this car is back here. Got a hello from Portugal. I like your videos and loving the King Zero. In Portugal, it's hard to make custom cars. Cheers. Yeah, man, I hear this all the time about Europe. I love Europe. I would love to spend time there. Heck, in some ways, I'd like to move there. But God, I love America. You can just build your dreams here, man. You know, I mean, cars, race, do it. You guys should move. If you're car people, you need to just move to the United States, honestly. Okay, this person here, Mordecai Zibkov, he writes, hey, Casey, keep doing what you're doing. Can't wait to see the King Zero with a skin. Me too, man. So I'm going to start slicing up some metal and making the inner metal structures. Going to have the gotta have the rest of the inner wheel wells here, and the cockpit sort of like inner fender liners. And then I'm doing this terrible. My mime action sucks. And then this area here in the roll bar that you see, this area. I'm a terrible weatherman. You see this area here? I don't really need to triangulate because it's going to be metal panel, so that'll triangulate it just fine there. Okay. Oh, this person's going on about the GT3 thing. Got a hello from Dubai. Hello to Dubai. KK, so you're going to release pictures available to color for the King Zero? Yeah, we're going to do that. I talked about that earlier. We're going to get the stuff out for the King Zero paint scheme design soon, later. Just hang in there, guys. Hang in there. Doing the best I can. Okay. So this person here, very nice, writes, have you driven a GT350? Should I put a supercharger on it? Also, they are saying McLaren's is a money pit. Shelby or McLaren? Okay, that depends on who you are. I have a feeling you would spend more money in a McLaren. Although, are you getting this information from Hoovy when he bought a McLaren? Because let's face it, guys, that's Hoovy. Okay? Like, I love him, but he's great at losing money. I've got a friend of mine who's got a McLaren MP412C that I drove, and he has a wonderful time with it, does his own maintenance, and it's perfectly fine. And honestly, I drove it. I'm thinking, yeah, I would have one of these, and I think it'll be okay. That being said, if you're not handy or know how to look into things with forums, or you get nervous about that sort of thing, yeah, it easily could be a money pit. So be mindful, and obviously you don't want to break stuff because that's the fastest way. So, I mean, if you wanted a Shelby or a McLaren and you're worried about spending money on it, you're not that handy, you know, I hate to say it, but the Mustang's probably more year-round, real world. But if you already have another car and you're pretty handy and stuff, McLaren's exotic and cool. As far as the supercharger goes, can if you want. I really like naturally aspirated cars, which is funny because I'm just talking about the McLaren, which is twin turbo. Yeah, I mean, if you want to do it, just remember when you modify cars, you never really get the money back if you're going to sell it. So just keep that in mind. Those are my little things right there. Okay, I should probably go on a few other things. Guys, so the builds next year, I talk about, I wanted to do the Chevron B16 bodied Radical effectively. Like, I take a Radical, I deskin it, I cut it up, I make it so it'll work with the Chevron, and basically like make a modern motorcycle engine powered Chevron. So kind of blending all these things to make something that I could theoretically afford, and it was super fast and super sexy. My other two ideas are, I'm afraid to even say the names of these things. I guess I might as well say it. So like, a McLaren Mark Vi Gt was the cool, like, I think they made like, I don't know, 2 or 3 originally. Bruce McLaren had a personal car, really pretty car. That was the car that was replicated for Hardcastle McCormick TV show in the 80s, albeit not very well. It's really pretty. That'd be cool. Porsche 917 replica would be really cool. And I don't mean that garbage laser 917 on the Volkswagen chassis. And then lastly, and this I think is actually definitely happening, would you believe that I may be taking a wrecked Ferrari 430 and building a Formula One car hot rod for the street? No joke. Ha! I know, that's crazy. That's even crazy on my level. Yeah, so we'll see. But that's, I think that's going to happen. It's probably going to be lots of headaches, but insanely sweet. And mostly I'm doing it just for the day. And of course I'll make video. I just want to rip down I-75 with World War I aviator goggles and an open pipe Formula One car. Doesn't that sound like fun? And a good way to get in a lot of trouble. This person, very nice. Hey, Casey, loving all you've been doing lately from the Genius Garage to the King Zero and then the Indy Ordeal. But you have to get that monster truck. What other Indy driver also has a monster truck? Zero! I agree with you. I need a monster truck. And my wife even thinks I need to get it too. Although, here's the problem. I'm going to be honest. I'll give you the 2 biggest problems with the monster truck. It's huge. Like, it would fit through that door with the big tires on, but then it takes up so much space. And I could pull it out, but I'm running out of space, man. Like, I really just am. Like, even if the Lycan goes away and the Auburn gets done and leaves, I only have a 2-car garage at home. And, like, I'm never going to get rid of the King Zero. I'm never going to get rid of the Omega car. So, I don't know. I might need to get storage. And I'm not into, like, storing stuff because I'm not trying to be a hoarder car collector kind of guy. That's not my vibe. Somebody here, Mike, he writes, I have the Roush car. Screwing with you. I know. We have to take them both out one day. Yes. So Michael Morrison, very nice guy. He was the one that did the Cyclone giveaway. He has got a Roush GT1/Trans Am car, 2 frame, probably a metric buttload of horsepower. Probably American buttload of horsepower. Yeah, it's true, metric Canadian Mike. Sorry. And yeah, he would like to get out to be able to run someday when Genius Garage goes out with the Corvette. I think that'd be a lot of fun. I appreciate it, Mike. Okay, so fun things going on. Doodaloo. Is the Lycan getting the twin Turbski so it can go like the Clappus? Possibly. We'll see. We got to get it painted first. That's a huge thing. Been working on that thing a lot lately of all the little details and getting it ready for paint. And hence why you just saw Aaron with those fins. So we got a day or two more work before it's ready to go to the paint place and get ready for that. So I'm just finalizing that. I think I've got a really cool shop that's the paint sponsor for it. Got another one. Actually, I got to email them. So we shall see. Okay, guys, more things going on. So Avalon King, King Zero. The King Zero here, I really have to say again, Avalon King ceramic coating. One, it works. I do use it. I'd use it even if they don't sponsor me. But the thing about it is, just massive thank you to them because myself and some other channels, they're facilitating our zaniness in this creative build stuff. So the fact that Avalon King sponsors this channel allows me to do things like the King Zero, and frankly, makes my life a little bit easier so that I actually don't feel like I'm going to kill myself when I put so much time in a Genius Garage that doesn't pay me. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to say that it's really neat when a company has a product that works. The ceramic coating was on my Red 944. It's on my Viper. I'm going to put on the white one on everything. I mean, it really works. But it's even cooler when that company helps facilitate everything in our automotive culture that doesn't exist much. So I hope you guys will give them a try. Go buy some Avalon King there. This person writes, Genius Garage, ever consider having the students build a, I'm not going to pronounce this right, don't hate me, Dajiban? Japanese racing van would be something out of the wheelhouse. I mean, it's still a racing vehicle, dude. It's got 4 wheels and it races. I mean, that's cool. I don't know if that quite fits. So we'll see. But that would be fun. We do think of things like that, some off the wall stuff here and there. Okay, so you guys, this person says they're 19 and intrigued by the idea of buying and fixing a Porsche 944 Turbo. He is not mechanically inclined. Any tips? Yes. Get mechanically inclined. Come on, get out there, learn, figure it out. Rev show cars, build stuff, bicycles, whatever. Get some tools. Go get there first. Okay, guys, King Zero, let's talk about that. Oh, somebody else is writing me. No, that's the Dajiba. Okay, wait, I gotta make sure I'm not missing something. Ooh, Evil Me writes, why haven't we seen you start that 917 project? We know you want to build, LOL. It's the only retro car that you ever need. I agree with you. I want it. You want it. It is the only retro car you ever need. And I'm going to have a Steve McQueen summer. Because here's the thing. First of all, Steve McQueen. I know I'm a sidebar and I was going to talk about the Zero, but I'm just gonna rant positively about Steve McQueen. So, back when I was a kid, my dad's like, I got us a movie. It's on VHS. It's Le Mans. I'm like, this is freaking cool. And he got the On Any Sunday documentary. No, not stupid football. It was On Any Sunday, the old documentary from like the late 60s of motorcycling, which, by the way, if you ever watch that, how can it make you not want to go hop on a motorcycle? Steve McQueen's in both. The guy was cool. He was really cool, you know, does the things that I like, and it'd be a guy you'd hang out with, have beer with, and go motorcycle off-roading and race. And he went and did the acting thing and everything like that too. But the thing that started to kill Steve McQueen for me, like, is in vintage racing. All the boomers are just like so in love with Steve McQueen, and it's nothing but golf liveries on everything. And it got really trite for me. So anyway, so 917, yeah, man, I want to do a 917, but the crap costs money. Okay. I mean, I got the blue Corvette I have because it was $10,000. Yes, that's a lot of money, but that's kind of the level of cars that I'm on. And this building is cheap to rent. Okay. So give me a little time, and then hopefully I can move up and afford to do 917s and stuff like that. It would be a lot easier if I didn't do Genius Garage. If I didn't do Genius Garage with my life the last 7 years, I could definitely afford a 917. But I did do Genius Garage, and I can't. So it's just, you know, you have to give me a little time. Okay, anyway, King Zero. So you guys, let's look at this. Let's have a little fun. I'm just going to grab the computer. So you guys can see here everything that's going on. There is a lot of sheet metal work that has to happen with the wheel wells on the inside. Also, if you look at the roll bar area, kind of this rectangular area. That's got to be sheet metaled. And then here, getting toward the interior, you can see this side impact tube right here between where the windows will be. But there's a lot of steel sheet metal work that has to happen in the interior, as you can see. Also, I'm going to show you something nifty here. Let me set this down. This is kind of fun. I hope you guys are having a good time. Tell me if you are, or tell me if this video just sucks. So check this out. Oh, what up? Yes. All right, so you can see I've been working on the basic frame for the windshield and how it works with the spherical bearings. I'll just show you guys what I got. I literally just used some old spherical rod ends I had right there from suspension of race cars and found the point. Now, this is going to be the basic framework. You can see out of square tubing that I bent, and then on the edge, it has this 1/4-inch cold rolled steel on it. So I literally welded this square frame to the wire form of the body wire, and then I just cut it, and then that's how you know it opens up. Now, the actual window that will go on that, I'm sorry guys, this video sucks, but I'm carrying around my laptop. The actual window that goes on this won't take up this whole area, but this framework here will get the sheet metal over it for the rest of it, and then I'll make a separate frame out of square tubing that I'm going to use polycarbonate for the windshield, not DOT safety glass. It's better and safer in this circumstance, which will then be bonded and riveted to the other framework. And then that framework, when this has the sheet metal, will be put up into place and then bonded to the sheet metal, and then there'll be cross bolts holding it to this frame. So that'll be the best way to make it strong in that regard. But I still and then I have to do that first, because then it'll be the rest of the roll tubing here, which I really need to do that before I do the actual windshield and a lot of the sheet metal work. So also, guys, if I'm doing my best to answer some questions here, but if you really got something you want to ask, hit me with a super chat, because I can see those because they get all lit up here. I want to show you the headlights too, because that's pretty cool. You can see right here that sort of, I'm not doing this well. Wait, here we go. Yes, look at that. Yes, this dark spot right here. Those are the headlights. It's a row of LEDs, honestly, relatively inexpensive ones I got at AutoZone. And I'll show you how I mounted those. Okay, I got to get down way down low here, you guys. This is kind of cool with a laptop. So you can see the opening similar to the original concept right here. And then the LED strips. The original one had, probably like big CD lights behind it and looked really good. I'm going a little more modern with it. And then I'll show you how I mounted them. They're pretty lightweight. So there is this cold rolled wire, much like the wire buck, that goes across the inside and then welds to parts of the cold rolled steel for the wire buck, which will stay in place. And then I simply, and I know this seems like overly simple, guys, but it worked beautifully. Right here, this bolt, what I did was I literally took the brackets for these LEDs, which is adjustable for your angle, and I bolted them all together, and then just had a bolt here, and I literally put the 1/4-inch cold rolled steel wire here, and then welded the bolts to them. And then I took the whole entirety of the LEDs and I centered it and welded it here, and then welded at the ends, and then there you go, guys. So that's going to be the headlights. They're really, really nice, and they fit well too. So don't have a lot of money in those either. Let's see. Okay, guys, what else do you guys want to see around the shop? Let's have a little bit of fun. Oh, somebody's writing something funny. Oh, this is great. Gotta go, Casey. Fat kids got to eat. Have a good night. All right, Jason, you go get yourself some dinner, man. Thanks for watching. Can you make custom hubcaps for the King Zero? Probably. Wait, hold up. You mean hubcaps or wheel centers? Because I like those wheels, mister. Those are gaudy racing wheels that are period correct. The centers would be cool to make something different. Also, Drew Cater here writes, your Zero is almost as cool as my 76 Gremlin. I appreciate that, sir. Thank you. What do you look for in Genius Garage Applicants? Somebody writes. A spark. Try to find a spark. You got to have that fire. You got to have that drive. I'm not looking for some magical degree or something you've done, but somebody who's shown that they want to go somewhere and they have a little fire to go, to do something with their lives. So that's the biggest thing. All right. Somebody writes, why sheet metal versus carbon fiber? Great question. Screw carbon fiber. I got some sent around. Let me go get it, and I'll tell you why. Okay, first of all, here's the thing, dude, about doing this in sheet metal. I only want to make one for myself. If I was going to do this out of composite, that is going to require molds. Molds are expensive and time consuming. They're perfect, and if you do it, that means you can do other ones, but I only want one. And if I did want another one, I could always take a mold off of my first one and then make it out of composite. So here's what we're going to do, guys. Hold on. I'm moving this thing all around. People asking me questions. Oh, look at the dinosaur. It's huge. That thing is pretty big, isn't it? Okay, so there's a 0. This is carbon fiber in a roll, you guys, with no epoxy. I mean, it's literally just a cloth of carbon fiber of a particular weave. I really like this. It's a little heavier. It's very strong. You use it for a carbon monocoque. It's a little thick to use for a body, but it works just fine. So this is kind of my generic carbon fiber cloth. The thing about this is it takes a lot of skill to work with, and you got to have molds. It's strong, it's light and whatever, but whatever. You know, this is the way they were making cars for eons. And even though I'm going to do it out of steel, it's quite thin and it's still going to be rather lightweight. So for me, it's much easier to make the car out of steel because I can change it and make it different, and it's just going to be one. So it's going to be a beautiful car, just the same way they coach built Ferraris and Lamborghinis and Bentleys and everything back in the day. And also it gives sort of the old school vibe from where the car came from. And I like that. I can have fun with it. You know, I got a roller down there, got an English wheel there, got a sheet metal brake, and I ordered a big foot stomp shear, and all those things are going to let me create it. And keep in mind that if ever I wanted to make another one or I wanted a mold, just make a big female mold of the car, and then you could pop out bodies. So that's the reason being. When you just want one thing or you want to modify it a lot, making it out of sheet metal the old school way is pretty darn good. So anyway, there you go. I hope that wasn't too bad a rant and you guys enjoyed seeing carbon fiber. All right. Let's see. What else should we go over? The Genius Garage Corvette and unlimited carts. Okay, so Genius Garage next year. So a lot of things are going on. And the other thing is about this channel, and I'm going to have to go here pretty soon. Excuse me, guys. Here's the fascinating thing, if you guys have seen this, with YouTubers, right? They start off, they're a little small, they grow. Some people blow up. I don't know if I'll ever get there, but you know, the channel's getting bigger, and it does start changing your life. Oh, this person writes, not knocking you, just wondered, hey man, that's cool. Yeah, no, I sorry. I didn't mean to seem like you were knocking me. It's just that a lot of people sort of thumb their noses at metal and they kind of want everything to be carbon fiber. So I guess that's just me kind of reacting to that. Sorry about it. I'm gonna come right back to the Genius Garage thing. U.S. Air Force emblems on the BD5, pretty cursed. What do you mean pretty cursed? Whatever. Okay, having done a front-wheel drive, rear-wheel drive, LS swap, auto manual swap with 3-inch drop-on coil overs on a 2007 Pontiac G5 qualify me for Genius Garage, even though I'm Canadian. It might qualify you for a mental hospital. No, I'm just kidding, man. Don't get all mad. That's a crazy build. It definitely shows some ingenuity and some drive. I'd be curious to know if you got it done and it works. But that's very interesting. So if you were going to apply to Genius Garage, I definitely suggest you put that on there. It's a great talking point. Okay, so you guys are asking me other questions. Let me get on to Genius Garage. If you got other questions, hit me up with a super chat. I got to kind of get on through the points and stuff. So Genius Garage. So we got the Corvette. It's a great car. It needs some development work, suspension development and whatnot. There's a shock company that I think wants to work with my channel, and I'm going to try to get them to sponsor Genius Garage as well, because it'd be really helpful. Because one thing this Corvette really never got the opportunity to get into much. We got great tires from Hoosier Tires. Actually, I really suggest the company. They're nice to work with. And we've done a good job with setting up and optimizing the suspension for the tires and the brakes and the car, and the drivetrain's every good, and you can drive it well and do pretty well. But we've never really optimized the suspension and the shocks and the spring rates. So I think that's just a massively awesome area for development for Genius Garage and testing. So I'd like that to be a big part of next year for the team aspect of a more professional race team. And this is what I'd love to talk with you guys and see what you think. Yeah, somebody writes, why have you not updated your Genius Garage website in 2 years in all caps? First of all, are you screaming at me, or do you just use caps too much? So I'll reply in all caps, because I'm so freaking busy. I don't know if I have time to go to the bathroom. and I'm one guy. Would you like to sponsor us or give Genius Garage money? And then it'd be easier to update the website. I'm sorry, you're using all caps, man. Like, I don't know if you're yelling at me or not. You're really writing that a lot. Okay, so anyway, okay, somebody's got some. Oh, Drew writes, it's been licensed and on the road for 5 years now, currently in storage for the winter. It hasn't seen a winter since I got it in 2012. You're saying that thing's got a rear-wheel drive LS in it now? Is that what you said? I want to see it. Yeah, okay. I want to see that. Send me on Instagram or something. Anyway, so Genius Garage. I think the Corvette will be really great for the team aspect and the suspension development stuff that directly relates to manufacturers and race team and such. But the karts and doing it unlimited, kind of like Can-Am racing. So my thought is that, you know, sprint karts, asphalt road course racing karts. Typical like 4-stroke would be Briggs LO206 class. There's still Yamaha KT100 2-stroke pipe and different tag classes and shifter carts, of course. I think what would probably be the best is to get a couple of chassis. LO206 is okay, but it doesn't make tons of power. Might be good for students that have not raced or raced karts yet, because you don't want to get such high performance karts with them making them more high performance and then they can't even drive them up to snuff. That wouldn't be as fun for them. You know what I mean? But let's say we get Yamaha KT100 or LO206s. They're basically identical, right? And then you let them be like Can-Am. It's not so much about the engine and making power that way, although that is interesting. We can talk about that. But what you can do with the chassis. And honestly, what I really think would get into, and let's just be honest, this is where it would go. Aerodynamics and kinetic downforce. Like, let it be powered. Make it a sucker go-kart out of it. And then depending on how well they can do and how many G's they can pull, you're going to start getting an have to reconfigure the cart. You're gonna have to figure out how to make the sides. You're gonna have to make the tires survive, and you're gonna have to make it so the drivers can handle those G's for that amount of time. Because the cart's already crazy. If you can make it where you can about go flat or out, oh my gosh, I can't imagine how hard that would be to drive. So I think that would be a really amazing challenge for Genius Garage. And I also think it'd be really cool to have a big team to where together they get to do a race car and do like the high level engineering stuff in that regard to industry and the racing industry, but also that internally they had their own challenge against each other. So it's good-natured fun and rivalry and competition, but in doing something that nobody else really gets to. So I think that'd be a lot of fun. Do you guys have any suggestions? This person writes here, I race LO206. It's fun and it doesn't require much maintenance. Yeah, the other reason I like LO206 is I don't really like the sound of 2-stroke for one thing. I like 4-stroke better. But LO206 has a pole starter, and if you run like Yamaha KT100, you got to have a person with an auxiliary starter, which drives me bonkers. It's cool. It's just they're not that fast. They're fast, but they're not like that fast. So anyway. All right. I'm going to have to get going here real soon, guys. This person's like, build a replica Lancia Delta with a twin-charged engine! Exclamation points. That would be cool, man. I'd really love to do a Lancia Stratos replica someday, but a Delta would be super cool. Okay, this was Howdy from Chardon, Ohio. I'm looking for something fun to scratch the itch. What itch is that, sir? And you should see a doctor. Thinking import MR2 or modifying a retired Crown Vic. Any other ideas for something around 10-ish? First of all, don't do the Crown Vic. It's not as cool as you think. Leave that to Cletus and reckon those on the oval. MR2, way cooler. More like a proper race car and mid-engine. Other ideas for 10 grand? Instead of the Crown Vic, do not do the Crown Vic. Don't. It's not, no, just don't, okay? But C4 Corvette, yes, stick shift. You can go to Jegs or Summit, get any parts you need. You can get parts you need down at the local auto parts store. Small block Chevy's great. And it has a big clamshell front end, so it's really easy to get to the engine and stuff. And keep in mind, it's still a cool rear-wheel drive, horsepower sports car. So I am all about a C4 Corvette for the money, man, under 10 grand. Definitely. This person says, hey, Casey, hope you don't miss the MR2 too much. We are loving working on it. Thank you. Hey, Ben, what's going on, man? Well, good. I'm glad you guys are enjoying it. Let me know how it's going, or shoot me some pictures and stuff. I'd love to see how you guys are doing with that car. Okay. Somebody says here, Nathan, what I would recommend for a good autocross car for around 5 grand that you can also use as a daily. Well, first of all, anything I would recommend it as an autocross car you can use as a daily too, because it's my personal opinion that autocross is not a big enough thing to warrant building a dedicated car for. It's a really cool thing, but I wouldn't want to just have a dedicated autocross car if you couldn't track and drive on the street as well. I mean, honestly, man, Miatas are great. C4 Corvettes you can do for under there. I'm trying to think. That's kind of my wheelhouse. I'm sort of old now, and I don't pay attention to all the new littler cars, but I'm probably thinking Miata or C4 Corvette, depending on what you're feeling. Somebody just writes, yes. Why did you just write yes? Because you wanted me to say it that way? Is that why? Do you have any stories relating to aviation that you haven't made a video on? I'm a 17-year-old and recent got my PPL, and I've loved every story you've ever made about them. There was part of that VinWiki where we pancaked the landing gear, like crash landed that terrible little amphibious airplane that I threatened to, it was an amphibious plane, to pee on the floor and use the bilge it out over my high school, which I really probably should have done, but I didn't. Or maybe I did. What other airplane stories I got? I mean, you guys know I flew with the Thunderbirds. That was amazing. My little brother likes to chase deers from airplanes. I'm not saying he does. And it's fun to fly airplanes with the doors off too. And you can probably fill in the rest for right now. Okay. Somebody writes, you think the Stratos looks better than the Delta? Yeah, they're both pretty sweet. I just think it's funny. Somebody writes, he's screaming for sure. Joshua, what are we talking about? You must have somebody else on there. Oh yeah. Okay, I will avoid the Crown Vic. Casey, Scouts on. Good. Don't do it. It's not cool. My grandfather thought it was cool. He was a cool guy, but it's not a cop car unless you want to be a cop. Like, just be a cop, okay? Cops don't even want to drive a Crown Vic. It's like, just why? No, don't do it. I think some other people are. I'm afraid I might have missed something else. Oh, here's one. Jucator. Oh no, that's the thing about his. Stuff's blowing up. Thoughts on ITBs on a daily? I mean, it's fine if it's tuned well. If it's not tuned well and it runs like crap, you're not going to like that on a daily basis. And you need to get good air filters on there that are easy to clean. Otherwise, it's fine. ITBs, by nature, they crack open, so it's like harder. It's not like. It's like there's so many that when you first crack it open, it's like more throttle quicker rather than just one. It's like easier to drive. So if you suck to drive, it's, not, you'll be fine. Just tune it well and put filters on it and they're fine. And ITBs means individual throttle bodies. Sweet trumpets, guys. Okay, this guy, Drew, is going on about the G5 and G6 Pontiacs are actually pretty easy to rear-wheel drive swap, and the V8 fits perfectly, mainly because they were originally Holdens and still have the trans tunnel. Oh, that's kind of interesting. Why don't you just buy a Corvette? He did not want me to say that. I love you. That's cool. I want to hear about it. I got to sneeze. No, it's not the Rona. I know what you're thinking. Okay. Hi from England. My brother is trying to do something like Genius Garage for disadvantaged youth in the Midlands. Any suggestions? Yeah. Here's my biggest suggestion. It exists in human nature to care about our fellow man and support something. You need to be able to support that program before you do it on your own, and don't take, I'd love to be part of that, is that they actually will. Okay. And just because the world needs something and it's a good idea and people could do it easily doesn't mean that they will. Remember that. And do it for good reasons, the right reasons, but don't burn yourself out. And also you can probably quickly extrapolate that all the advice I'm giving you relates to my experience in Genius Garage. It's very hard to do things like that. So I would just say good luck and look at it from a business plan and make sure that it makes sense and works and helps people and will work with your life, and you have things in motion and set up to properly support it for the future. Just basic business stuff, guys. There's something nice. First off, I say this is in a respectful way. It was nice to see your wife on the video the other day. My wife, who loves cars, was happy to see another woman digging cars and trucks. You should have her on. Yeah, I will, actually. We've got a really funny video planned for soon. I just need a little bit of time to do it. Might be able to do it this weekend. Yeah, it'll be funny at my expense. You're welcome. Maybe I'll ruin my career. I don't know. So we'll see. Somebody writes, hey, Casey, thanks for being such a great teacher. You are a big inspiration to me. Good, I'm glad. Okay, Drew, he's back. He writes, I did. A 2000 wrecked one for the V8 and trans. You wrecked you took apart a Corvette to put in a Pontiac? Sacrilege, sir. No, that's cool, man. I get it. Somebody's high from Utah and would rest of modding a 64 Galaxy and having a Spark qualify for me for Genius Garage? Quite possibly. Yeah. I mean, why not? I'm just looking for the Spark, man. But I want to see what career paths this potential students are on and where they're going. You kind of need to know who you are and what you want to do before you're going to do Genius Garage. Genius Garage isn't the best place in the world for people to find out who they are, because if you know who you are and you know about what you want, you don't have to know exactly, then you'll get so much more out of the experience. So I look for the students that kind of know where they want to get, but just can't get there. They'll have the biggest impact on it, if that makes sense. So, but yeah, definitely what you're doing is totally cool. And you should put that in an application in the future when we do it. You're going to have to give me a little bit of time, guys, because I'm taking care of a lot of stuff with the organization and my own life. And I need the internet collectively to remember this, please. I'm one guy. There's no magic money tree. And Genius Garage takes an absurd amount of time of my life away. So I can only do so much. And what I'm already doing is probably more than I should be doing. But I do it because it's a good thing. So you guys got to give me a little time to keep going. Obviously, here I'm later on a Friday, making it happen. I better get the heck out of here. Otherwise, my wife is going to have my butt at 6 o'clock. So I'm going to go. So here's the deal, guys. 2 minutes. Final questions. Anybody got a super chat? Hit me. Otherwise, I got to go. And somebody's demanding me tell you about Indy. What about Indy? There's cool people there. I look forward. And I'm going to drive at Indianapolis 500 one day. Yeah. And next year, I'm going to drive some Formula cars. And you guys should totally follow along and come watch at races and stuff. And the better it goes, maybe the faster I'll end up in an Indy car. Yes. Okay. Drew again. Also, greetings from the land of maple syrup, moose, and the angry beaver. Whoa. What's with... Should I make that joke? Probably not. Why is the beaver angry in Canada? Why is it? All right. Thanks, man. Best old Porsche for a first car. 944, 924. You're welcome. Okay, I better get going, you guys. However, this person very nicely, I think, writes, Casey, you might not know how much impact you've made through this platform. So all I'm going to say, I'm watching you down from Costa Rica. Glad you're doing this. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I'm glad you're watching. All right, you guys. All right. Shank is in Ohio. Hint, hint. Yeah, I know he's doing the IndyCar thing now and all. You never know. We'll see. We'll see what the future brings when the IndyCar thing happens. First thing that has to happen is I need some Formula cars in here, and there needs to be some financial horsepower to make that happen for a while. And then I need to get in them and not get hurt and not suck enough that I can continue to progress into higher ranks and be in the position good enough and quality enough to drive an IndyCar, and for the business and everything else to be there that people and or Indy-related prizes want me to drive an IndyCar, which is is a tale in itself. So in the meantime, I think I'm going to go see my wife and get some rest. So guys, thank you very much for being part of this live chat. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed getting to talk to you guys that I did. It's a lot of fun. So I'll be around again. And I think in the future for live stuff, what I'm going to do is have a member thing. I haven't figured out how to do that. So these live chats will be for members in the future, because I think the general populace, when they find these, are like, this is dumb, I hate live, unsubscribe. And actually that happens. All the live things I've done in the past have lost subscribers, except for the last one. It did really well. So I thought I'd give another one a try because this is fun. So that's it, guys. See you later.